recognize this man. Notify police immediately.
Hey everyone, I'm Silent Core here with your latest Watch Dogs tips, tricks and information. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to hit that like button and also subscribe for more daily content. Today I have 20 brand new Watch Dogs facts. The information and facts I'm going to be talking about is all stuff that's been revealed in the last week. And that's either from Ubisoft themselves or press who have actually had a hands-on on the game so far. Starting us off, the first couple of facts is an image Jonathan Moran tweeted out, who's the creative director on Watch Dogs. And he tweeted 2 controller schemes, one for on foot and one for when you're in a vehicle. Now this is a PlayStation controller, but I assume that it is exactly the same for the Xbox controller. Now there's a few really important things to cover here. First of all, take note of where the reload position is, so you can reload your gun by clicking in the left thumbstick, which is L3. Now this is quite different from a lot of your standard shooters who always tend to use square or X to reload. However, I have read in several articles from people that have played this game so far that it actually feels quite natural and it didn't feel awkward at all using that button to reload, so this might be quite a cool change. Another fact is that sprinting and shooting share the same button. So you can obviously tap it to shoot or hold it to do a sort of free-running sprinting that you can use to jump over obstacles, and obviously there is no jump button in Watch Dogs, you're just going to have this kind of free-running button. I also wanted to bring your attention to the driving controls, and notice there's no shoot button, so you're not going to be able to shoot while driving vehicles. Next fact is to do with the map in Watch Dogs. Now it has been confirmed that it's not the biggest open world map. Ubisoft have said, since there's no flying planes or helicopters you can use to fly around the map, you don't really need big open space to take up flying space. So what they've done is really compacted Chicago into a smaller, more dense area. And that just ensures that you're really getting that busy city feel, a lot of stuff happening, very realistic in a smaller confined space. And they have said that their missions and side quests will take you everywhere in the map. Next fact is that we have Safehouses confirmed. You can unlock more hideouts, you can use them to even teleport. It doesn't say specifically where, it possibly could be teleporting between hideouts to transport yourself quickly throughout the map. You can use them to sleep, which resets your reputation. I'm not sure if it resets your reputation completely or if it's just a short-term thing. In your hideouts you can apparently also change the time of the day, since some hacks are more efficient at certain times of the day or certain times of the night. The next few facts are going to be to do with Aiden's phone, so this is your virtual smartphone, and probably your biggest weapon in Watch Dogs. You have apps on your smartphone that let you set up playlists. If you hear a song you like, you can have your sound recognizer, kind of like Shazam, that recognizes the song and it can even add it into your playlist. You have a Cars on Demand app, and you can get a car delivered right to your exact location. You have a sightseeing tour app, so you can actually visit real Chicago sites. I'm assuming possibly the Willis or the Sears Tower, you can go visit that and do some sightseeing, maybe even take some pictures of it. And of course, VR games, virtual reality games, which included that weird sort of alien screenshot I showed you guys in a few previous videos. This is one of the mini games that you can get on your phone, and there's also been said possibly chess, and also some sort of coin collecting minigame. The next fact is to do with civilians. If you're shooting innocent civilians, running them over, that's going to hurt your reputation. The media are going to portray you in a bad light. And if this happens, civilians are going to dynamically react to you. They might see you as a bit of a loose cannon. They're going to call the cops if they even see you, if you're wanted. Now the way the wanted system works, it's not such a star system in GTA, it's actually a kind of a memory star system. That means anytime you do a questionable action, the level goes up. So it's not like GTA where you can get full stars and once you've lost them, you're completely back to normal. You know, the media are going to remember. Ubisoft have also said there's going to be much stronger cops at the higher levels, so I can imagine that's going to get pretty intense in Watch Dogs. I can imagine the police are going to be pretty hard to escape from. Next up is a really important fact, and that's that your reputation will not affect your story. And I'm really happy about this because it gives people the actual choice whether they want to be a bad person or a good person, and it's not going to split the story. There's no sort of split narratives. Your reputation will only affect your gameplay and it won't affect any of the main storyline missions. Next up is digital trips. I covered this in a lot of detail in my last video. I'll put a link in the description if you want to watch that video in full, so I'm just going to go over it quickly. These are different from the AR apps on your phone. Digital trips is basically an alternate version of Chicago, and it's kind of like a short-term high. You basically get this from a dealer on the street, and you apparently get an audio device you stick in your ear. And from there you kind of live the dream. So in the spider tank example, you're in control of this spider tank that you can level up. And I guess it's a really cool way to sort of blow off steam, take away from the seriousness that the storyline might have, and give you a chance to kill everybody and cause a big rampage that otherwise would cause you quite bad reputation. So it definitely looks like a lot of fun. I also have an absolute ton of facts to do with multiplayer. First of all, it has been confirmed that you can completely turn off interaction if you don't want anybody coming into your game or you don't want any part in the multiplayer. However, it's highly not recommended. It will really take away from the whole Watch Dogs experience. Now, the multiplayer is obviously seamless. People can come into your game, but it's designed to fit around your playstyle. If you're frequently visiting other players, hacking other players, it's going to make you more likely to get invaded back. And that'll also work the other way, so if you're not invading people very regularly, I guess it would be more unlikely for you to get invaded back. And it's also worth adding that you won't get invaded while you're in a story mission, so if you're doing a mission or a story, you know, you're going to have your peace and quiet to do that. Since the multiplayer is seamless, multiplayer and single player have the same progression. However, online will have its own notoriety where you can unlock extra skills. However, this is dynamic. This notoriety can go up or down, and if it goes down, you'll obviously lose those skills. Colin, who's Ubisoft's animation director, actually said in an interview there's going to be 6 different multiplayer options, and that's quite big. So let's go quickly over these multiplayer options. The first one is your standard hide and seek. This is the one we've seen quite a lot, where you can seamlessly enter someone's game to hack them, or they can do that to you, so it's quite a confrontational multiplayer. Next is tailing. It's really similar to that, however, it's more of a stalkerish approach, where you can infiltrate somebody's game without hacking them, and you can just sort of creep around, watch them, so you might have somebody come in your game that's not necessarily going to hack you, they might be just spying on you. I actually really like the sound of tailing because it kind of gives to that feel that somebody always could be watching you. One of those NPCs you're walking by could be a real player, so that's always something to think about. It's also worth noting, although you will always look like Aiden, when you infiltrate somebody else's game, you will have the skin of an NPC. And that goes the same way. Whenever anybody else infiltrates your game, they will look just like an NPC. So if you see an NPC acting really weird or driving erratically, there's a really good chance that'll be another real player, although they will not look like Aiden to you. Next multiplayer mode is Decryption. This is a highly competitive team-based game. I believe it's 5 versus 5 or 4 versus 4, and it's a PvP mode. It's fast-paced, it's intense, and we've already seen some really cool game action of this occurring. There's also multiplayer races. I assume you're going to be able to race all over Chicago. I assume it'll also be cars, bikes, and maybe even possibly boats. Next up, I'm sure a lot of you will be really glad to hear about the free roam multiplayer. Now, Ubisoft have stressed this is going to have no missions or side missions as such, so the free roam is going to be kind of like GTA, where you have this sort of free roam 8-player, or people just roaming around. You can choose whether they're your friends or your enemies, you can shoot them, and you can just have fun in the Chicago city. And the last multiplayer option is actually to do with the companion app. So you can actually, in Watch Dogs, play against somebody who is only playing on their iPad or their iPhone. And basically the person that's controlling it on their mobile device, they'll be controlling all the hacks in the city, they'll be trying to take you down, they'll be controlling the police, they can send police after you, and this is just sort of a fun little mini game. Ubisoft has said this app's going to be available on Android and iOS, which is pretty exciting, since it is a free app. So that is all the new Watch Dogs facts I've managed to find for you. I hope you've learned a few new things and are a little more excited for Watch Dogs. As always, please take 1 second to follow me on Twitter. All my social media links will be in the description. Thanks for watching, guys, have an awesome day, and I'll see you in my next video.